High achievers don't burn out from effort. They burn out from misalignment. Welcome to another daily dose of the Worth the Fight podcast. We're going to do a deep dive around redesigning our life. And, this notion that when we are microdosing, we have to give to get. When we're seeking to make aligned change, we're seeking to heal, we're seeking to prime prosperity pathways, we're seeking to catalyze personal growth. We have to give to get. And there's no free lunch here. When we're struggling, if we're struggling with mental health or if we're off the path, there's something in our life where we're leaking energy. There's something that is out of alignment. There's something that we can do to make the adjustments to get back to the path. I've said it time and time again, when we're microdosing, the hallmark of the experience is boosted mood and energy levels. And the best way that I can describe it is 3 to 5% more empathy, 3 to 5% more courage, 3 to 5% more self-awareness. And with that, we can see ourselves objectively, and we could see where we're missing the mark and ultimately the adjustments that we have to make for our path. And at this point, I've guided over 200 people through my Magic and Microdosing mentorship programs. And almost without exception, there is a big shift, a lifestyle design shift that happens in order to keep the magic alive. The goal is that we're not always microdosing, that we're not, always going to have a substance. The supreme mantra of the movement is start low, go slow, and take time off. So we need to find more adaptive ways to regulate our nervous system and to process emotions and to prime energies with a breathing practice, to have a meditation practice where we're calming our nervous system, to take time, bravely putting pen to paper where we can process emotions, process heaviness that's on our heart. And again, the adjustments come to mind. There was a former client that I had. Her name was Wendy, and she was a high achiever here in finance in Miami, and she had a job that she hated. She struggled with OCD, and when we worked together, she found a really strong yoga practice. She fell in love with yoga, and this lifestyle shift for her was what ultimately sustained her journey. She's not microdosing. She's not reaching out to me for microdose pills. And she did have a journey where she was courageously traveled down to Costa Rica for an ayahuasca retreat. And that set in motion something really special. But her healing it happens in the day-to-day because she redesigned her life around moving her body, around community, around positive influences, and being around good people that can mentor her, and where she can learn in community, and where she can feel supported, and she can make friends and connections, romantic potentials, all of that she was not getting in her life prior to microdosing. So again, this idea that we have to give to get, we have to shift. There has to be a shift of, because at the end of the day, we can't keep microdosing. And the microdosing is, again, giving us this data from within. And we have to utilize that. That's the integration process where we're, journaling our thoughts, we're taking time for stillness, we're capturing those insights, we're grounding them. And then we're setting the intention to implement them into the day-to-day, to bravely implement them. And that might mean look like setting healthy boundaries, or perhaps having that tough conversation with a friend or a family member, or maybe cutting somebody off because there's a toxic power dynamic and you've outgrown them. You're on a growth path, they're on a fixed path. And it happens sometimes. This path polarizes. We're waking up, we're feeling better, we have hope, we've got pep in our step, we're moving and grooving, and we're excited about the path ahead. And perhaps some of our friends from prior are still stuck in the same bad habits. They're stuck, drinking alcohol. It's too much alcohol, smoking cannabis, and maybe in a woe is me mindset. And sometimes we have to let people go. And that so often people will have in the movement. I'm not talking about my clients. There's a big challenge with integration. People will go to Peru, they'll go to Costa Rica, have huge experiences with ayahuasca, heart opening, soul opening, and then they'll go back to their circle of influence, back to their day-to-day daily lives, and they'll go right back to the same challenges and same problems that they had without implementing and without integrating into any of the insights into the day-to-day. And that can be really, really problematic and dispiriting to feel all this good energy and have all this hope and to reach such extreme states of the human experience. Some say that these high dose experiences, that we can have a taste of enlightenment, and to feel again so much bliss and ecstasy, and we're feeling so good in our body, and there's so much hope and potential during the ceremony. We're supported by like minds and in this powerful healing space, and then we go back to our daily lives, and that can be really, really challenging. And that motivated me to write Worth the Fight, a 308-page psychedelic integration book. So I encourage you to check that out at worththefightbook.org. And again, when we're setting strong intention and when we're embarking on an intentional microdosing journey, or we're intentionally doing medicine work with psychedelia, the high dose, we have to give to get, and we have to be ready to make adjustments. There's no right or wrong here. That's the beauty of it, is the adjustments come from within all of us, and they don't have to be extreme or radical adjustments too. It might just be adopting a meditation practice, or breathing practice, or a journaling practice, or moving your body and exercising. Geez, that feels so good in our body to be able to do that. If we can utilize the medicine to get back to taking good care of our body and getting the exercise, the BDNF that we've talked about, the brain-derived neurotropic factor that we get from exercise and how that's tied to neural plasticity. If we can do that, that's the best longevity drug there is. That's way better than any microdosing pill or any potion that you're going to get down in the Amazon, is exercising in the day-to-day and taking good care of our bodies, moving our bodies, however which way you decide to do that. So again, when you're thinking about an intentional microdosing journey, again, keep in mind the supreme importance of, and the supreme opportunity here to redesign our life towards a more conscious, holistic lifestyle that'll be more sustainable, that'll be more about feeling good in our body, that'll be more about authentic connection, that'll be more about having the peace for priming prosperity pathways, for creative vision on the path ahead so we can expand our service impact. For more on the Worth the Fight book and mission and message of hope and healing, check out worththefightbook.org. Thank you so much for tuning in. Till tomorrow, much love and peace.